given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene an executive session and a regular meeting on Monday, July 30th, 2018, at 5:45 p.m. and at 6 p.m. in the Commission Chambers on the second floor of Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. We will begin with our executive sessions. Executive Session A, Attorney Consultation pursuant to Section 551.0712 Texas Government Code to provide legal advice and counsel on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter. Executive Session B, Attorney Consultation pursuant to Section 551.0712 Texas Government Code to provide legal advice and counsel on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter.
Motion to proceed to executive session.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Pastor this tonight.
Do you want to give the invocation?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll bow our heads, please. As we begin this commission meeting today, I ask for continued blessings for everyone that's present here today and their families. Continued blessings for our city. We keep on continuing praying for rain, and we ask that all the business that's handled here tonight be done in an orderly fashion and in your glorious name. And this we pray, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner.
We will now have the mayor's activity update.
Nothing to report. Thank you. Nothing?
Okay. Should I? No. The commissioner's activity update? And we have city manager's update.
Mayor and Commissioners, I added this item on here because there's sometimes that we need to share with you and with the citizens. A couple things is landfill was inspected by TCEQ and we passed with a very good inspection, which means there's no fine for that. Second item is some of the streets we've done Rosalind Court, Eleanor Court, Robert Vargas by PUB. So we continue to do streets. And is there other items? We are looking at the tire collection. We had a really good successful tire collection with the other cities. So we just want to share that we'll continue to do that. And individuals can still take tires to the landfill 4 with the PUB. So I just wanted to add this section just to inform you of stuff that's coming up. Thank you.
Next, we have the proclamation to Mr. Eddie Ovid Rodriguez Jr. Day. You please step forward.
To the public, I wanted to share this very touching story. Crystal Rodriguez has been on my Facebook for many years now, and as us moms do, the silent mom code, we always check on each other and love pictures of our kids and all of the things that our families do. And so I had the extreme fortune of watching this little boy grow before my eyes. And one day I see that she had checked into a hospital and posted a picture holding her son. And Eddie, who was just the most beautiful little boy ever, who brought so many smiles to so many faces in our beautiful city, passed away. And it was very devastating for all of us who were close to this family. And today is a day, the tears stopped for a minute. And today we celebrate as an entire city and an entire community Eddie Rodriguez Day. Today is his day. And I'm sorry that I choke up. it's just so hard to have to see. It's beautiful, but it's very hard to see the community come together and celebrate such a beautiful little boy. And I always tell Crystal and her husband that Eddie was a very special little boy. Even though he was only 10 years old, he has done more than many people in our community have that are 10 times his age. And one of the most things that stood out to me the most about this little boy is that he had a heart of gold. So many times you find people who are kind, but expect something in return. And this little boy, all he wanted was laughter and hope and happiness. And he just was such a beautiful character and wonderful little boy. And so today, I'm so glad that we could celebrate in his memory. One of the things that I loved about him so much that I loved seeing on Facebook was Trash Day was a really big celebration in the Rodriguez home. He would wait outside for the trash man. He would make his dad follow him and honk the horn. And the trash guy would honk back and hey, and they would, it was a huge, huge deal. So I ask every single one of you in the viewing audience and at home, the next time you take your trash out, think of this sweet little boy that, such a small thing, but it meant so much to him. This is what he loved. So please think of Eddie when you take your trash out and on Trash Day. I know he would have loved that. So I'll go ahead and read the proclamation and just remind the viewing audience that Fragile X is something that is not that common. It, when a child is forming, your genetics take place, and sometimes there is a little extra tail on the X chromosome, and this is what causes the Fragile X syndrome. It is very rare, but it does exist here in our community. So I would recommend anybody to read up on it, and if you know anybody that has Fragile X, always ask, how can I help you? What can I do? And to all of us that are ever in public, whether it's any type of child, the one thing that I could tell you the most, I asked Crystal, what is it that the public can do for you? And she says that, it's very true, as moms, anytime you see a kid having a meltdown in public, don't make faces. Always run up and ask mom, how can I help you? Is there something I can do? And don't judge when you see somebody's kid not having a good day or having a tantrum. We don't know why or what, so be kind and follow that mom code that we're all here to help each other. So without further ado, I will read this beautiful proclamation in memory of my good friend Eddie. A proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, designating July 30th, 2018 as Eddie Ovid Rodriguez Jr. Day. Whereas Eddie Ovid Rodriguez was born April 29th, 2009 in Harlingen, Texas to Eddie and Crystal Rodriguez, and was the elder brother of Ryan Maverick Rodriguez. Eddie was blessed with an extraordinary spirit and optimism that radiated in his smile, earning him the moniker, the little engine that could. A natural explorer, Eddie tried everything at least once and always with an insatiable zest for life. Whereas Eddie was 2 years old when he was diagnosed with Fragile X syndrome. As July is National Fragile X Awareness Month, Eddie's family would like to raise awareness of Fragile X syndrome, a genetic condition that causes a range of developmental issues, including learning disabilities, cognitive impairment. Individuals with Fragile X may have shyness, anxiety, difficulty making eye contact, and short attention spans. However, they enjoy and benefit from friendly, warm smiles and kindness. Whereas, in his 10 years of life, Eddie faced every challenge with courage and kindness and always giving his best. Through Eddie's eyes, ordinary activities came alive. Eddie enjoyed the orchestra of the weekly garbage collection trucks, traveled city streets emptying bins in chorus of beeps and shuffle of bags, and whereas Eddie lives on in the memories of his family and all who knew him, leaving a lasting legacy of appreciation and joy. Eddie's spirit is an inspiration to the residents of Brownsville, Texas, and has sparked a conversation to promote Fragile X syndrome awareness. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by the virtue of authority vested in the Charter of said city and on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby designate July 30th, 2018 as Eddie Ovid Rodriguez Jr. Day, and further call upon all of our citizens to pay homage to Eddie's memory and promote Fragile X syndrome awareness in our community, done on this 30th day of July, 2018.
Do you guys have any words? Want to say any
Would you
words?
like to-
Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. We would like to thank, on behalf of my sister and my brother-in-law, we would like to thank everyone here for doing this for us. I'm sorry. Like the commissioner said, Eddie was a happy, energetic, loving 10-year-old boy who was affected by Fragile X syndrome. He had a heart of gold and a smile that would light up any room that he would step foot in. He always was willing to help others, and although he had Fragile X and was nonverbal, he didn't let that set him aside. It was a very tragic event, what we had to go through almost 2 months ago, and it was something that was not expected, but we would love to raise more awareness of Fragile X syndrome in the community, and not only in Brownsville, but in the whole RGV, because this is something that is rarely talked about, and not many people come out and say that their families are affected by Fragile X syndrome. My nephew was affected by Fragile X syndrome. I am affected by it. My sister and my other sister as well, as 2 other nephews. And if there is anything else that we can go ahead and do in the community to raise more awareness, we would love the support of it to go ahead and bring more awareness to the community about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We're here for you, okay? Thank you all so much. Thank you, sir.
At this time, I would like to announce to everyone that we are I'd like to announce that we are going to remove some agenda items from the City Commission meeting tonight. We will remove agenda item number 8. We will remove agenda items 14, 15, 16, and 17. So I'll go ahead and continue on to the next agenda item.
Mayor and Commissioners, I can speak on item 14 and 15. FAA did come out with a grant that they plan to award within the next 30 days. So this gives us a better opportunity as an airport to chase it if the item's not underway. So we are chasing that grant, and that's why we'll pull them and bring them up to you at a later date.
Next, we have consent agenda items A through J.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 6.
Next, we have public hearing number 6, public hearing and action on first reading to repeal ordinance number 2018-911-H.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Commissioners. As you know, on July 2nd, the Attorney General's office sent a letter to this commission regarding a Supreme Court ruling on the plastic bag ordinance. The purpose tonight before you is to talk about, number one, let me remind everyone that our ordinance under Ken Paxton, we had done away with the dollar fee previously, and there was a lot of things that we were able to get under this ordinance, projects such as a sanitation truck, reusable bags, street sweepers, we have Make a Difference Day, and most recently, illegal dumping surveillance cameras. So tonight, we stand before you with an agenda item to rescind based on the recommendations from Ken Paxton, the Attorney General's office, because the current ordinance is deemed as unenforceable. So with your next steps is to take action on this item.
Public hearing?
Yes.
Is there anyone here on this issue?
Motion to close public hearing?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
I'll
Next,
move to repeal.
Second?
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is public comment period. I do have 5 people that signed up. I will go ahead and read the first 4 for the record because they're not here in the audience. We do have the 5th person here. One of the first ones is Mr. Juan Garcia. The second person is Mr. Salvador Castillo. The next person is Joshua Silguero. And the other one is Amanda Ramirez.
And for the public,
And
those were all issues with regards to veteran issues.
yes. Okay, and the one that we do have here, Ms. Olivia Villarreal, if you would please step up.
Hello to everybody. I live in 75 East Ringo Street, and I'm come to complain about what happened when it rained. I know it was a hard rain, but when you fix my street, you promise that that will never happen. And well, it was awful. And I discovered that the street goes from the zoo, then goes down on my house, and it goes up to Palm Boulevard. So my house is in the lowest part. I had the trash of everybody because it was trash day. I had the mulch of everybody. And it was very difficult. The water entered just a little bit on the front door. The resaca came all the way to the street. It was all flooded. And I feel that is your moral responsibility to fix that. Because I went to the Department of the Engineers, and it was a helper, there are no engineers, that told me that the city has been having problems with the pumps since 15 years ago, and that you are thinking about changing them, and only 2 were working, and it wasn't enough for all the water. I know that, but you have to do something about it. Because I've been living there since 1971, and the worst, it was a hurricane, and it wasn't as bad as that day. So please, I'm begging you to do something, please.
Okay.
Okay?
And thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I commend you for speaking publicly to us and coming to it.
Thank you.
Next item.
The next item is items for individual consideration. We will go on to action item number 9, consideration and action on a memorandum of understanding between the City of Brownsville and the Brownsville Historical Association regarding the purchase of a restored 1927 Brownsville Fire Department ladder truck.
I would like to make a motion to pass that one.
Is it-
Second.
All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Are there any terms or the price or
That's it. That was the price.
which one?
Excuse me. The price, it was a 1927, actually owned by Brownsville, and it's $50,000. It was completely restored. They only charged for the restoration. They didn't charge anything other than that. And I know that the firefighters union was the one that brought that to me to try to get it passed. So I decided to support their efforts. We have another one from 1954, which is similar. They use in the parade, and this one's fully operational, and it's completely restored back to prime condition. And I think it's a real bargain.
So I would encourage y'all to vote for it.
Yes. And Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, just for full disclosure, it's 50,000 for the truck, but the transportation of it will be an additional 10,000. So we're just wanting to put that on.
And it's going to be owned by the historical, or maintained and curated by the Historical Association or
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Fire Union?
No, the Historical
Okay.
Association.
Because I know the union bought it, right? Did they? No?
No, we're buying it.
Right. Never mind.
Thank you.
Okay, well,
Okay, so who bought it? Just
The city.
The city bought it?
The city
Okay.
bought it.
Not-
It'll be stored
The
where the
union
other one
found
is.
it. That's what it was. The union found it, the city bought it, and then we're going to
That's
restore it.
That's correct.
That's what it was.
okay, any other questions? If not, the motion has already passed, if I recall correctly. City Secretary, am I correct?
Yes, we got a first and a second.
What's that?
We got a first and a second.
We got a first and a
Does
second. All those in
everybody
favor say
agree?
aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you.
Action item number 10, consideration and action and discussion for approval and adoption of the proposed bylaws for the Brownsville Beautification Committee.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Commission. I am presenting on behalf of the Beautification Committee the changes to their bylaws. And I just created the presentation just so you, with the highlighted changes so that you could see they changed it from up to 12, no fewer than 9. They added an additional term for reelection. Oops, I'm sorry, there was a typo in there. It says 7, but it's really 9. And they will oversee the KBB affiliate and have the KBB Board of Directors. And they will include a sustainability study for all of their projects for up to 10 years. And so they'll provide any of the projects that they're doing with city funds to make sure that it can be maintained. They'll keep the affiliation with KBB, and that is their proposed changes to their bylaws. And the ordinance was approved in one of the June meetings, which also addressed some of these.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 11.
Action item number 11, consideration and action to acknowledge progress and future plans for special needs program for the residents of Brownsville.
Can I present this one?
Use the pen.
You gonna present it?
Click on it.
I don't know if it'll,
No, use the pen. Make it out. Make it the mouse clicker on top.
So this agenda item was brought to our attention also in coordination with Eddie Rodriguez's family and many other families throughout the community that have children that face that have special needs, and their needs are different than the general public. And so Commissioner De Leon and I had been working for many months to see how the city could become more active and how we could better cater to families and people that have different needs than we do. So we wanted to continue, we wanted to be a progressive city and fund a position that would be allocated full-time to making sure that our events we would have special events and just more focused attention for our citizens that have special needs. And I know that you can explain it better than I can, but Commissioner De Leon and I have been working on this for a very long time. And I'm so grateful to our interim city manager for allowing us the opportunity and resources to dedicate to this position, because it means a lot to a lot of people in our community.
it really does, and I think you said it well, and our community deserves it. And the kids and family members, whether you're a child or an adult with a special need, it will make it really great.
Okay, this is
Impact.
an action item to acknowledge.
Yes. All right.
Do I hear a motion?
Oh, wait, hold on. No, there's a presentation. If I can get it to
Oh,
where,
I'm sorry.
pardon me.
Read it off again.
Is this going?
I got you.
Okay, thanks.
I got you, Tammy. We'll skip
Okay,
the-
and
we'll
so
skip
we're
the-
getting a little recap of what we've been doing with the Parks Department from, since I got here for working with special needs. And really, a lot of people in the Valley have no idea what therapeutic recreation is. And so there's a brief video, and I feel it is 3 minutes, but really dedicated, not only for our citizens, but for you guys as well. And nobody knows what it is and what they can get, so how can you know what to ask for if you don't know what it is? So I really feel that just letting people know what recreation therapy is a valuable tool to share with the public. So what I think a lot of, as this plays, let's speak over a little bit and skip over a part what we can offer, and especially me with my certification, is if any participant who wants to participate in our programs that we offer or our events, we can complete an assessment that will go, it's a 4-page assessment, takes about a half an hour, but we go over the parent or the individual and we assess all different kinds of needs that they might have. What is their goal for participation? What are barriers that they have, leisure barriers that they have? It's very broad to work for any type of disability, so that if someone wants to come participate in our programs, we can set up a success plan and work with the families. And if it's, let's say, camp or aquatics or athletics, that we can work with them to have a great experience in any one of these types of settings. So we are able to do that, and a lot of our community members don't know that's a service that we offer, and so it's promoting that and letting people know. And then I'll go into a little bit of the history. Michael, you can go ahead and skip out of the video if you want.
Hit this.
No, don't close out of
No,
that.
yeah, don't close it.
And so we can offer that, and I'm gonna, while they catch back up. So we have a form, not that one,
Oh, not that one.
sorry. For, that we can fill out, and we're really accommodating. They can do it over the phone, they can do it in person, I can email it to them, and we can meet with them. So back in 2015, we developed this documentation, and in 2016, we had a huge focus on our senior elderly population, kind of coming out of our membership with the CAB, our participation with the CAB, and they just changed their name, so I'm not gonna butcher that.
It's still CAB. It's still CAB.
CABs, so we're gonna call it CAB. And we created the Retired Now What. Now, while children with special needs, but we also, special needs can be our elderly as well. And so we're doing those workshops, and we're hosting weekly Retired Now What workshops with a collaboration of many, many partners. And then we received also a Texas Parks and Wildlife Department grant to do the senior center. So that's gonna be upcoming. We're hoping to have it done and open next summer, provided that our timeline goes well. And then last June, we were able to host our first Daddy and Me sensory party at the rec center for children with special needs and their families, and anybody who didn't have a special need if they wanted to come to participate as well. That's just one page of the form. I kind of explained, it goes over different goals. And then we've been really focusing on our events. Starting with our Easter 2016 to present, we designate a field to hunt for Easter eggs and make sure that we're accommodating for noise and crowd control. So if anybody has a special need at Easter, it's just a nice, safe place to go hunt for eggs. On Halloween 2017, last Haunted Trails, we opened the event 1 hour early, so if anybody had a special need, that they could come and experience the Haunted Trails without the huge crowds and to get there earlier. Because, you know, as you've seen, whether you have a physical, apparent disability or one that it's a hidden disability, you need sometimes the extra time and accommodation just to get through all of the events that you want to do. And then at our 2017 Pancakes with Santa for Christmas, we offered, you know, Pancakes with Santa at the rec center, just so Washington lighting with Santa coming can be a pretty big event, and so we just wanted to make it a little bit special and smaller, and so they were able to talk to Santa themselves. June 2016, 2017, 2018, for the last 3 summers, we've been providing special needs training for our summer camp, our temp seasonals who are working directly with our youth that come in, who are able to handle questions from the parents and how to direct them where to go if they have an issue or a disclosure of a special need. We actually even took our services to McAllen Park to say, hey, we have this expertise in the valley, we want to share it. So even our other valley cities were able to do that. And then of course we've been hosting adaptive aquatics in partnership with Dr. Canaster at our pools for many, many years now. And then these are just some of the retired now what's. We're gonna kind of, don't go too fast, look at the Zoom. But in case you haven't seen some of the activities we've been doing, you can just go, but just go a little slow. You don't want to. We've been doing loterias, paint and plants, dances. Oh my goodness, they love all the dances that we've been doing. Fall, autumn art, and you can see of our seniors, it's a wide range of ages, even from young 55 to old, almost maybe 90 years old, and you know they have a great time. I love that picture. That's a good one too. See? Oh, that's so wonderful. And then in this one, we'll scroll into our Daddy and Me sensory party. And don't mind the gym. We renovated. It doesn't look like that anymore. But we were able to host several activities from physical activity sensory things in the gym to more fine arts and motor skills with painting and tactile awareness things. And we showcased our quiet room, which is that right there. And so what we offer is a quiet place for kids to go, different sensory things. We still have plans to take it to the next level as well. And we also were able to complete a bunch of our surveys, and we surveyed 60 people or families, and wait, go back real quick. We had 55 male respondents, 45 female. 30% of our respondents had autism, and 8% had Down syndrome, and 2% indicated other. 43 preferred an inclusive and specialized programs. So we asked, we said, what do you prefer? Do you want just inclusive with the general population, or do you want just specialized programming, or do you want both? And so the majority, 43%, they wanted both offerings. The top 3 interested activities were soccer, art and painting, and then a tie for third was cycling, equestrian, and swimming lessons. We also wanted to know when was best to offer programming. So we had 57% prefer from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays, and 39% preferred 8 a.m. to noon on weekends. 59% preferred weekends over weekdays, and 50% preferred a 4-week-long program. So did they want to offer something for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? And 35% preferred to attend 3 days per week. And their recreational goals were 23% to learn a sports skill, 22% to achieve a personal goal, and 20% to increase social skills. And then these are just some breakdown and graphs that show what I just said. So we asked a lot of questions, and gave a lot of options of what they wanted to do. But we as a department need a little bit of guidance as well from our public to say, what do you want? We don't want to just offer something and nobody come and attend. And then, of course, just like Commissioner mentioned, in the very near future, we're working on developing a position dedicated to this to oversee and manage programs for individuals with disabilities, create inclusion support, recruit, hire, develop. Really, the most important thing that you can get with a rec therapist is they can assess, they can plan, they can implement, and they can evaluate. And everything that they do is in accordance with ADA law, and making sure that if anything ever goes to court with anything related to ADA, that certification and standing is what's going to protect the city.
So Damaris, I have a question. In the term special needs, does that include juvenile diabetes?
It can, yes.
So I'm wondering whether the parents of juvenile diabetes, the Hope group, I think it's still called Hope. I didn't hear any of that, and I wonder if they know that you have these programs going on.
Probably not. That's one of the things that we're really working on, is to push more and making sure the training and support of our staff and that they're there to deliver these services. So we still have some more to go. And a lot of times with rec therapy, and even ADA, it's a disability, but illness can, if it's part of that disability, it covers too. So sometimes it can depend, but yeah, we can offer support to anybody who needs it.
And what about people who have lost limbs to, let's say,
Yes.
chronic diabetes? So I'm wondering about outreach to groups and wound care centers,
Yeah.
et cetera, because that certainly all of that will coordinate very well, as you know, with all of the health efforts that we have. And then the final category I had a question about was people with morbid obesity that are not able to move around and enjoy function as much as the rest of us may be able to, and just a thought out there.
We definitely, we want it, whether it's on the other side of ADA and whether it may not qualify or not, I think we still want to be able to engage with our community residents, want them to participate. And if someone is morbidly obese but wants to be a part of our program and wants an accommodation, we should be able to provide that, or ways that we can make modifications to participate. And whatever it is, we can do that and set up steps to make that successful.
So you've been working on this since 2016, according to
Yes.
this whole program? I want to congratulate you. I know you really helped us out at Municipal Court with our juvenile program.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Have
We
you
really
found
want to
that-
expand and do as much as we can, and really, it's a lot about getting the word out and letting people know that this is a service we have.
And again, very well done. I think you're doing great. The park designation for Grandparents Park, how are we doing with that?
I need to go back and make sure that we're following the next steps, and we've been improving to make all of our parks more walkable. And I think through the grants that we've been doing and connectivity and adding exercise stations and more trails and refurbishing. So we're doing more. I'll go back and check and see where we are and kind of this checklist, and I can report back.
Great.
I don't know if there's any more, Michael. That might be. Oh, so not only can we expand our offerings to a severely underserved population, and by the way, our Riverside Park, which was greatly helped with the renovation through BCAC grant funding, we're going to have hopefully soon a ribbon cutting. So we'll let you know. It's an ADA Courage Playground model, and that was really exciting. And the last thing we're waiting to put is from our families is that, can you please fence around the playground just to make sure that our kids don't elope and wander, and so that's one of the last things we're waiting to do. So, but not only can children and young adults live out of school, that's also another really severely underserved population, and no matter where it is a lot of kids get attention for special needs, and sometimes you get your elderly, but once they hit 21 and they're out of the school system, they have nothing to do, no place to go, and that's what we're here for.
Well, I really appreciate everything that you're doing. His phone went off. I really appreciate everything that you're doing, and Commissioner Longoria too, and Commissioner De Leon and I are really excited about this, because the city of Brownsville, again, is being the first in the valley to make sure that we are known as an inclusive city, but secret mom code. I'm just here to make sure that every single mom in this city has the resources that they need to raise their children.
Yeah.
So thank you for...
Well, thank you for advocating. It's right for the community. no, I shouldn't say every city, but every city should have it, needs to have it. Every city should have it by law. And so, and we're here to help. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
So now,
Second?
I'm sorry.
Motion to acknowledge? It was an acknowledge, right?
It was yes, it was
Motion
just
to acknowledge.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Mayor, Commissioner, if I can just jump in as well. This is an example of our professional development. I always like to make people say that we don't have that our leadership is not very educated. As you can tell, we have somebody who's certified, and you're going to see when we do a budget presentation, you have very, very skilled individuals, and the goal of us now is to get those skilled individuals at positions where they need to be. So this is a perfect example. Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good job.
Next, we have action item number 12, consideration and action to support the bidding for the 2021 and 2022 Texas Amateur Athletic Federation Games of Texas by participating in the professional filming to welcome the TAF organization to host their event in Brownsville, Texas.
So I'd like to introduce to you my new Assistant Marketing and Business Development Director. It's a mouthful, but he does exactly that for our Parks Department. And one of his tasks that he's been working on is to go out for a bid for the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation State of Texas Games, and I'll let him do a little bit more. And then, of course, I have my support staff here who are so wonderful and knowledgeable, and if you have any questions about it, they're here to give you a little bit more. And I'll let you say before we play the video, what we're hoping to get from them.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners. So, as Ms. McGlone just mentioned, we are going to bid for the TAF, Texas Athletic Amateur Federation Games of Texas. The games were held in McAllen these past 2 years in 2016 and 2017, and they netted the city both $8 million and $10 million both years in economic activity. So we're hoping to bring those games to Texas for the 22-2023 games. In the process of this bid, Corpus Christi last year, they're hosting the games before us, or hopefully before us, changed the game in creating a video during their presentation in their bid. And we're going to go ahead and do the same, only we're going to take our video more of an inspirational approach. But the thing with their video is it included a lot of members of their own city commission and along with the mayor and the staff with the Parks and Recreation Department. So I'd like to go ahead and present the video just to give you an idea of what they did.
Sorry for promoting Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
Whatever,
So,
we have a rocket.
So just unlike Corpus Christi, we actually are ready and prepared and the best city to host the Games of Texas.
In the Milky Way galaxy.
And while they took a more comedic approach, we're going to go ahead and focus more on Brownsville's unique culture, unique location and geography, and our ecotourism. And over the next month, we're going to be working with a video production company in creating our video, and we'd like participation from City Commission. Furthermore, in September, specifically Wednesday, September 19th, we will be actually going to essentially lobby and try to convince members during the TAF state conference to vote for Brownsville for the upcoming games. And we'd like to create a delegation, and hopefully members of the City Commission will be able to participate in that.
Very good.
And then we would just like to also acknowledge that the funding for the bid and the production video was from BCIC. They had set $50,000 aside from part of the sports park funds this year, and they were able to generously allocate that so that we can go out for this bid. And so we
Very
couldn't do
good.
without their support either.
Great effort, great effort. Thank you guys for everything. Okay, so this is an action item to support the bidding.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good luck, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Next, we have action item number 13, consideration and action to award a term contract for engineering and surveying services for traffic design signals.
Second.
Honorable Mayor Commissioners. Good evening.
Favor say aye.
Just kidding, just kidding.
It's a pretty straightforward term contract for engineering services for traffic signal design, traffic engineering, basically. I recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Rick is terrible, for the record.
Thank you.
Thank
got
you. Motion carries.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.